guys, this is Chester from One Life Performance, and today's circuit will focus mainly on the core. So before we get started, if you do have any injuries related to your back, if you are diagnosed with chronic lower back pain, or if you do have a spinal condition, please go see a physiotherapist or an exercise physiologist like myself, where we'll liaise with other healthcare professionals in order for us to diagnose and treat that condition safely. Because the majority of the exercise here can actually exacerbate the condition if not under direct supervision or care. So with today's Covid-19 pandemic, it's very hard to get out of your house. And if that's the case, I'm doing a one-on-one video style conferencing PT session via Zoom. So if you are interested in that, please hit me up in the comment section below, email me, give me a call, visit my social sites, and I'll get to you as soon as possible. So for the other people who just want a strong midsection or who want to vary up their routine and exercise, let's get started. So before we get started with today's strength circuit, I'd like to walk you guys through exactly what the core is. And despite popular belief, the core is more than just a six-pack muscle responsible for trunk flexion. It also involves several other muscles responsible for trunk rotation, lateral bending, as well as back extension. So we are going to walk you through each one of those core muscles as we do the exercise. The first exercise of which is involved in trunk flexion. Yes, the abs is used. We're not going to do a full setup, we're going to do a crunch, and I'm going to explain to you why by showing the difference between the two. So first and foremost, we're going to do the sit-up, the full sit-up. So that's a full sit-up. This is going to be the crunch. So the crunch is a partial sit-up. If you ask me which exercise is better for the core or the abs in general, I would always go for the crunch. And the reason why, with that full sit-up, you are working on the hip flexor, and when you sit all the way up, a little bit more in the lower back gets involved, which is not great. So that's going to be the first exercise. So the second exercise will be, of course, the Russian twist. The Russian twist is involved in trunk rotation. Watch me here. You can do two variations. You can do it with your leg up to make it harder. You can do it with your leg out to make it easier. So I'm going to do it with the leg up to show you a little bit more variation, a little bit more difficulty. So have your hands together. You want to rotate. Give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is the Russian twist. So there's another exercise I want to show you. It's going to be the leg raise or the lying leg raise. So the lying leg raise, we're going to target the TA. The TA is known as the transverse abdominis, which wraps around the spine similar to a corset. And I kind of like this exercise because with this exercise, it's keeping your spine stable while the muscle around it is contracting. Very important with this exercise is to keep your neutral spine, so you want to contract your core. So when you're lying down on the ground, just before you do a lying leg raise, have your hands behind your lower back just briefly, and if your lower back lifts by any chance, just squeeze your core tighter, bring your belly button in towards your spine and try to flatten that lower back to the floor. Let me show you this one. I'm going to use this variation with 2 legs. Breathe in on the way down, lightly touch with your heels, all the way up. One more time, breathe in on the way down, lightly touch with your heels, and exhale at the top of the movement. So that's the lying leg raise. And now that we're still on the floor, I'm going to show you how to work on the lower back muscles, the erector spinae muscles, by doing a glute bridge. So the glute bridge also involves the hammies and the glutes together with that lower back. So we are going to perform it with isometric contraction. So what is isometric contraction? All the other movements that we've done so far are done with movement. Whereas in the isometric contraction, all the muscle is contracting without actually moving. So that's basically what isometric contraction is. So this is working on that lower back muscle. We're going to kind of hold it for a little bit longer. Just like that. And there are regressions and progressions to these exercises, which I'll show you. The last exercise I'm going to show you is the side plank. The side plank is responsible for the, basically the QL is involved in the side plank. So QL is quadratus lumborum. It is the main stabilizer of the spine, a very important core muscle. So how are you going to do a side plank? It's going to be a full side plank for this variation. Get your elbows directly underneath your shoulder. Get your hips directly up. Keep your back straight. Lift your hips towards the ceiling in another isometric contraction. That's one side. You should feel pressure or pain in the muscle itself, not the lower back if you're doing it correctly. Let's try on the other side. We always want to balance it out. Nice straight back. elbows directly underneath your shoulder. Lift your hips up, chest out. You are going to feel it over on your right side in this movement. So those are the 5 exercises I'm going to show you today. Now we're going to combine it into a circuit. So just for simplicity, we're going to perform 10 reps for the exercises that require movement and 10-second holds for those isometric or static exercises. So let's get started. Crunch. 1. Russian twist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Lying leg raise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Glute bridge. Maintain your breathing, 10-second hold. Squeeze your glutes as well while you're at it. Keep your knees apart as well, activate the glute medius. And feel your lower back fatigue. Maintain your breathing. Try your best not to relax that midsection. If you feel your hips dropping, lift it all the way up. Switch sides. And if you feel your hips dropping, lift it all the way up. If you have at all, you feel lower back pain, that will be the end of it as well. So have about 30 seconds to a minute rest. Since this is a sample, we're going to go back at it again. Again, the reps, sets, rest period will actually change. But for core, just a little bit of tip of core. Core is an endurance muscle. So if you're going to go for reps, go for 16 plus. If you're going to go for isometric holds, go for 30 seconds plus to a maximum of 90 seconds if you like as well. So let's going to do the crunches again. Different variations to make it easier, you can do alternating leg raises. 1. If your lower back is hurting even doing this, try to bend your knees. Alright, lift your hips up. If you want to make this a little bit harder, lift one leg up about 1 centimeter off the floor. It'll activate the obliques. We'll go to the other side. Lift the right leg off the floor. If you feel your hip dropping, straighten up those hips. Let's go do the side plank to make the side plank a little bit more easier. Let's go on your knees. Modified side plank, similar to the modified push-up from last video. I found holding this for about 30 seconds to a minute, you'll start to feel it. Alright, don't be disheartened if you can hold it for 15 seconds. You build your strength level up. Hold it 15 seconds first and foremost. Every week increase by 15 seconds. No problem. Okay, have a breather. 30 seconds to a minute. Since you're doing endurance, no longer than a minute to 2 minutes. So I like to keep it 30 seconds to a minute. if you're working on endurance muscles like the core. Let's go again, guys. To make the Russian twist easier, have your feet on the ground, focus on the rotation. Lying back down, the regular glute bridge. Feel that lower back activate. Try to keep your thigh in line with your upper body. You notice a drop, lift it up a little bit more. Again, let's do bilateral leg raises. If the straight leg raise is a little bit hard, go bent bilateral lying leg raise. 1. Keep it tight. You can make the side plank from an isometric into a concentric eccentric workout. Watch me over here. If you want to do this instead, you can. Chest out, hips up, back down, lift up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Definitely feel it there. Other side. Awesome. You can repeat it again if you like, upwards of 5 sets in total. But there you have it, guys. That is today's core workout. Hope you guys enjoy it. Stay tuned for another circuit style training session. Peace out.